Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Continue.
Her name was Ivy Clover. Looks like they managed to find her background details. The data's all classified, though.
Why?
No idea, mister. Apparently, they're not giving us access because it's not directly related to the case. She isn't a Kairos host, mister. Which means we don't have an exact time of death. The best guess is that she died between 9 and 11. Looks like it was from a chest wound.
It was down in the lounge.
You're right, and we got here around 10:30. Which means the incident happened before we arrived.
So it's in between 9 and 10 then.
So this section's about the room itself.
Looks like the Bureau's been using this room for surveillance.
What do you mean?
The idea is that the suspicious outsiders get assigned the guest room opposite this one. That way, the Bureau can keep an eye on them from this room. Apparently, Ash has been in charge the whole time.
So it won't be a surprise if we find any traces of Ash inside then.
Yep, but it's weird that he'd leave those classified files lying all over the place.
What was Ash doing in there? And why would he have kept it a secret from us?
I'm sure we'll figure it out when we take a look around.
Yeah. No time like the present. Let's head in.
Let's check out the body hologram first.
We spotted this tag outside the professor's house. How did she get a hold of it again? Maybe Ash gave it back to her?
Why do I?
We spotted this tag outside the
Yeah,
professor's
I
house.
know.
How did she get a hold? Maybe Ash gave...
Not letting me move. Oh, I must have turned around.
We spotted this tag outside the professor's house.
Oh, I done
How
did
she get a
that.
hold? Maybe Ash...
I thought I moved it off of it. I thought that's... Oh, now this is a wound. All right.
She died from a gunshot wound to the chest. Judging from the hologram, I'd say the killer used a conventional projectile weapon. The question is, who would have access to a weapon like that here in the city?
But then why would I feel bad for her? She has killed me twice.
If you look closely, this gun has the QI Research Institute logo on it. The energy reserves are fully depleted. I don't get it. Where did the energy pack go? The wound on her head. It doesn't look like it was fatal to me. The likelihood is that she sustained a concussion and couldn't move. I'm pretty sure that lines up with the memory I saw in the gun. I'd be willing to bet that she couldn't fight back because of that head injury.
And a gun not having no ammo.
I need to figure out exactly what happened when they were killed.
Hal? What's wrong?
Something about this doesn't sit right with me. In the memory I saw, she tried to defend herself with her gun. It doesn't make sense that she'd remove the energy pack on purpose.
Do you think the killer did it?
I don't know. Lily, the energy pack might be here in the room somewhere. Let's take a look around. What's this? Bombardment? Outside the dome? It's no use. I can't hear a thing. Is this connected to the outside city networks? Let's make a record of the transmission log. This.
Looks like the trunk Ash brought here.
I think it's locked. What was it Keith said? Take a good look at the top of the trunk.
Mhm. All right. Boo, boo. Maybe white. Boo, 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 boo.
Ash. A lead bullet. It looks like the one Ash kept hold of. A lead bullet. It looks like the one Ash kept hold of. It looks just like the case Ash. Nothing inside it, though. Where'd the gun go? It looks just like the case Ash. Nothing inside. Where'd the gun?
This looks about right. I think.
Oh, wow. Ash, what the hell you doing, man?
I've got to show Hal one of these days.
Quit playing with shit you shouldn't be playing with,
I'll
my
bet
boy.
he'll freak out.
That is not a toy, Ash.
A list of missing persons from 12 years ago. What was Ash doing with this? Just as I thought.
I don't understand this. It's obviously some sort of combination. White, blue, blue, gold, white. White, blue, blue, gold, blue, white. Blue. Gold, blue, blue, white. I don't know. There's gotta be a clue. I don't know. How many of these I'm supposed to touch? I done went over that pattern. White, blue, blue, gold, blue, white. No along. I went the other way. White, blue, gold, blue, blue, white.
Let's take a look around. Cause of death. Gunshot wound to the chest, leading to hemorrhagic shock. If only we'd gotten here sooner, we might have been able to save her. According to the scan, the blood here belongs to the victim. This must have been from the head injury. Ash. Bullet. It looks just like the case Ash found in the... Nothing inside it, though. Where'd the gun go?
This looks about right. I think.
I don't see anything that's gonna give me a clue how to open that over there.
I've got to show Hal one of these days. I'll bet he'll freak out.
That's all it shows? Really?
Ash.
I don't understand.
A lead bullet. It looks like the one Ash kept hold of.
I don't see nothing that gives me any kind of clue on.
What's this? Bombardment. Outside the dome? It's no use. I can't hear a thing. Is this connected to the outside city networks?
Let me see. Go back to where he was, his room. Maybe I can. Oh man. How do I do the get back to no, I want to look at his case again. I don't know what the hell I'm supposed to do. There's nothing left in here. Look
A
at.
list of missing persons from 12 years ago. What was Ash? Just as I thought.
What? What is that supposed to tell me?
Just as I thought.
What does that tell me? Not a damn thing. About this. I need something about this. Got no items. So what happened? What did I do? Oh, it's too far. I didn't know you could do this.
Hal! Look! You've got a new...
Huh? For me?
No. I do.
Elaine.
I just received the Bureau is we've already found along.
You're kidding.
Just so you know, traveling that way we does that anyway. I just
We all...
well you'll need.
Of course.
Oh, he's been, but he makes.
Understood.
I'll let you.
If I... But with that, where could it... And then...
I remember he told
No,
me look at
Lily,
the top of the
I'm-
cave.
Got it!
But am I going to have to go through all this again?
Hal, there's...
I don't want to do this again.
Gunpowder?
Yeah, not the... They're
Let's try and figure it...
I want to, if I get anywhere, I want to be right in there in that room where I'm trying to solve. but it goes too far. There's no middle ground. Oh God. Oh no.
Her name was Ivy Clover.
Oh, come on.
Background.
Why?
No idea. Apparently, they're not
Put
giving
a
us
skill. Put a skill.
She isn't a Kairos host, mister. Which means we don't have an exact time of death. The best guess is...
Between 9 o'clock and 11 o'clock. That's when Keith was down in the lounge.
You're right, which means the incident... Looks...
What do you...
that... Yep, it's...
What?
I'm
Yeah, no time.
Oh.
Let's check out the book.
We spotted this tag outside the professor's house.
Yeah,
How did you get a hold
yeah,
of it?
yeah.
Maybe Ash gave it back to her? The wound on her head. It doesn't look like it was fatal to me. The likelihood is that she sustained a concussion and couldn't move. I'm pretty sure that lines up with the memory I saw in the gun. I'd be willing to bet that she couldn't fight back because of that head injury. She died from a gunshot wound to the... Judging from the hall, the question is, who would have access to a weapon like that here in the city? I need to figure out exactly what happened when they were killed. She died from a gunshot wound to the chest. Judging from the hologram, I'd say the killer used a conventional projectile weapon. The question is, who would have access to a weapon like that here in the city?
I done went over everything.
She died from a gunshot wound. Judging from the question, the wound on her head. The likelihood is, I'm pretty sure I'd be willing. If you look closely, this gun has the QI Research Institute logo on it. The energy reserves are fully depleted. I don't get it. Where did the energy...
How? What's wrong?
Something about this doesn't... In the memory I saw, she tried to defend herself with her gun. It doesn't make sense that she'd remove...
Do you think?
I don't know. Lily, the energy pack might be here in the room somewhere. Let's take a look around. Cause of death. Gunshot wound to the chest, leading to hemorrhagic shock. If only we'd gotten here sooner, we might have been able to save her. According to the scan, the blood here belongs to the victim. This must have been from the head injury. Ash. A lead bullet. It looks like the one Ash kept hold of. A lead bullet. It looks like the one Ash kept hold of. It looks just like the case Ash found in the port area when we were kids. Nothing inside it, though. Where'd the gun go? It looks just like the case Ash found in the port area when nothing inside it. Where'd the gun go? It looks just like the.
God damn it! Give me the vision.
A lead bullet. It looks like the one Ash kept hold of. It looks just like the case. Nothing inside it, though. Where'd the gun go? It looks just like the case Ash found in the port. Nothing. It looks just like the case Ash found in the port area when we were kids. Nothing inside.
I'm getting aggravated here.
A lead bullet. It looks just like the case Ash found in the port area when we were. Nothing inside it, though. Where'd the gun go?
Is there a way I can
Not
get
right.
up and look
I
down?
think.
Don't see.
I've got to show Hal one of these days. I'll bet he'll freak out.
That's all I showed. Really.
A list of missing persons from 12 years ago. What was Ash doing with this?
I would like to know. And then remember, these shells were not across the brow
A
like
list of
this.
missing persons
Fucking
from
one.
12 years. Ah, just as I thought. What's this?
Looks like the trunk Ash brought here.
I think it's locked. What was it Keith said? Take a good look at the top of the trunk.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. Huh? I'm looking at it, and I did exactly like. Oh, there we went.
Ah, here it is. What's it doing in the trunk, though? Looks like I can use this to access the past.
I knew that was the code, but I didn't know how to reset.
I've got to do something. It's now or never.
Ash, what the hell are you doing, man?
There's no way I could leave this lying around.
Maybe he's taking away from her because he thinks she might shoot at me again.
Sorry, Irie. It's all because of this thing right here.
He was definitely the...
So it was Ash that hid the energy pack. And he stole the clock tower key.
Who came back? Who came after him
What on
and
earth
murdered
was he
a
up to?
woman?
Ash. It felt like he hesitated before hiding the energy pack. Maybe I can influence his actions at that exact moment.
What's wrong, Hal?
Nothing.
We've finished searching the crime scene, but there's so much to think about. Send a report to the Bureau. There! We finished our search.
Yeah.
Hal, what's going on in that head of yours?
Lily, what do you think Ash was doing here? Why was he covering for Irie? And why did he steal the clock tower key? None of it makes any sense. The more I think about it, the more I realize how little I know about him.
Hey, what's that face for, mister? Ash is hiding so much from us.
I know.
I'm real mad, mister.
Why, though?
You're allowed to be mad too, you know. How dare he keep secrets from us? Once we wrap up the case, I'm gonna give him such a huge lecture, he won't know what hit him. If only he had told us what he's been up to before this happened, I would have stopped him.
Same here. I wish I could have done something to keep him out of this mess. I might still have a chance. All I need is the gun and the energy pack. Lily, Irie's gun is being stored at the Bureau, right?
Yep, can't leave stuff like that lying around. It was moved to the Bureau for safekeeping.
If that's the case... Elaine,
Are you ready to reconstruct the crime scene?
Well, we finished our search.
I knew I could count on you.
Elaine, there's something I wanted to ask you. Do you happen to know where the victim's weapon is?
It's here at the Bureau. I'm holding on to it until we decide what to do with it.
Do you think I could take another look at it?
Why? The holographic reconstruction should be all you need.
It's just, I kind of wanted to feel it in my hands.
I didn't take you for a gun enthusiast. Ash, I could understand. But sure, one condition. It'll have to wait until you've finished the reconstruction. Head to the tribunal once you're ready.
Got it.
And check, make sure nobody needing help. Can't seem to do it.
You don't look too happy, Hal.
Aren't you worried about Ash?
Of course I am. But right now we need to focus on the threat to the city. It isn't safe for us outside the dome. And we don't have enough time to get all the sleeping residents to safety. Our only choice is to save the city. Okay, time to go.
Special Supervisor Hal Sion. Identification code confirmed. This private trial will commence shortly.
This is a private trial. All information disclosed during these proceedings is strictly confidential. Additionally, witness Keith Tozaki will be privy to the contents of this trial. Conditions in augmented dreaming continue to worsen. If news of the incident were to go public, further mental contamination would be unavoidable. Supervisor Sion, you are in charge of this case. Present your findings and indict the culprit immediately.
Well, how am I supposed to do
Start
that?
by making your case report.
The victim's name is Irie Clover. It appears she was a researcher at the Quantum Interference Research Institute. At 10:30 this morning, she was discovered dead in one of the hotel guest rooms. The scan of the body indicates the cause of death as hemorrhagic shock. Next, I'd like to discuss 4 suspicious details on the guest floor where the murder took place.
Go on.
Allow me to go over what we found during our investigation. First, there was Mr. Tozaki's ransacked room. The alarm issued from the staff room. The room the murder took place in. The darkened corridor. We need to establish exactly what happened at each of these locations. Time to submit our findings.
What did you find in Mr. Tozaki's room that relates to the incident?
The stolen property.
What took place in the staff room?
That's where the service drone was attacked.
What did you find in the room that was connected to the incident?
The weapon used in the murder.
No. How do I take that out? Is there not what I can redo?
The implement used to bludgeon the victim.
I wonder how the culprit escaped.
We need to consider the culprit's escape. They destroyed the security drone. That concludes my overview of the suspicious details found at the scene. Based on that, we can reconstruct the murder itself.
Based on this information, your reconstruction has a 71.6% plausibility rating. Unacceptable. Supervisor Sion, what are we to do with these fragments you offer? You must supplement your findings in the reconstruction space.
Understood.
Initiating crime scene reconstruction.
Pull on the handles to enter the reconstruction space, mister.
This is the hotel. The reconstruction is based on the whole floor, 30 minutes before the estimated time of death. Allow me to retrace the culprit's actions at the time of the incident. Here goes. At this point in time, 30 minutes before the incident, there are two people on the floor. Keith Tozaki, who'd returned to the hotel and was under constant surveillance. And the victim, Irie Clover. She'd been hiding in the room the murder took place in. Routine cleaning of the guest floor began. At this point, Mr. Tozaki moved to the lounge. The culprit arrived on the scene just as Keith left the guest floor. Judging from their lack of hesitation, my assumption is that the culprit knew the victim was staying at the hotel. The guest floor is
No, she's
controlled by two
hiding.
drones. To succeed, the culprit needed to distract them.
You said yourself she's hiding. She's saying that she wasn't hiding.
How did the culprit manage that and make it to the victim's room? Allow me to demonstrate. "10 a.m. The culprit arrives on the guest floor. Let's trace their movements.
Guest room 201. Cleaning complete.
At this point, a service drone left Mr. Tozaki's room after finishing cleaning. They then entered the staff room opposite. The culprit seized the opportunity and broke into Mr. Tozaki's room. There are two drones patrolling the floor. It would be impossible to evade both drones and reach the crime scene. Which is why the perpetrator stole something from this room and destroyed the service drone. The culprit stole. Time to show them what the culprit took from this room. At this point, the trunk was locked. However, the culprit quickly opened the trunk and checked the contents. They then proceeded to steal one of the items they found inside. Right. Time to pick up the item they used to destroy the service drone. The weapon the culprit stole from Mr. Tozaki's room was The EMP weapon capable of disabling a drone.
That lines up with the service drone's log data.
That's how the culprit ransacked Mr. Tozaki's room and got their hands on a weapon. At this point, the culprit left the room with the item they stole. Heading out into the corridor, the culprit spotted the service drone entering the staff room again. At this point, they had to make a snap decision. Follow the service drone into the staff room, or head to the scene of the crime. Time to reconstruct the culprit's actions. The culprit followed the service drone into the staff room. Once inside, they proceeded to destroy the drone. What did they use to accomplish this? The weapon they stole from Mr. Tozaki's room.
Yep.
Yeah!
Hey.
The culprit disabled the drone using the EMP weapon they brought with them.
I think you're onto something here. It makes sense they'd use that to knock out the drone.
Now you've seen how the culprit disabled one of the drones patrolling the floor.
Abnormality detected in patrol matrix. Alert level 1. Initiating analysis of affected zone.
When the service drone was destroyed, the alert level for the entire floor was raised. The culprit then picked up the service drone's arm before any other drones arrived. From there, they made their way to the crime scene. The security drone headed to the staff room to check on the status of the broken service drone. With the coast clear, the culprit moved along the corridor at the rear of the floor. They avoided the security drone and headed to the room where the victim was. That's how they reached the room where the incident later took place. They then pressed the intercom button to lure the victim to the door. Hearing the intercom, the victim hurried to the door and opened it. In that moment, the culprit hit the victim on the head with the arm from the service drone. This is how the culprit gained access to the room victim Irie Clover had been hiding in. This room was being used by Supervisor Ash Shepard as part of his surveillance duties. The victim was spotted near the entrance to the clock tower the morning it rang out. I've personally seen her with what appeared to be a clock tower key. My hypothesis is the culprit attacked her in order to obtain the key. Given the state of the room, it's clear the culprit was looking for something specific. When searching the room, the culprit came across the projectile weapon. At this point, they noticed Miss Clover was beginning to regain consciousness.
I don't think you do it.
Before fleeing the room, the culprit turned the weapon on the victim.
You said Ash was in this room. He would know. He would know that he wouldn't be searching through the room. He would know what would be in here if this was his room.
Here, the culprit aimed the weapon at the victim's head and pulled the trigger. This was the fatal.
I like that you literally aim and fire.
This doesn't line up with the scan data.
What do you mean it don't? That's right. No, I aimed at the head, didn't I? Shit. I'm sorry.
That concludes my account of how the victim was killed in the hotel guest room. The culprit then fled the scene of the crime.
Shit. I fucked up. I was supposed to aim at the... I was supposed to aim somewhere else.
When the culprit stepped into the corridor...
How can I change it? I want to go back.
The man who overheard the sound of gunfire from the room came to investigate.
Abnormality detected. Eliminating target.
As the beta prepared to attack, the culprit... This is it. Destroyed the beta with the projectile weapon they were carrying. The impact sent the beta shot off course, destroying the device on the ceiling.
So that's how it happened.
I ain't at the wrong place.
And that shows you how the culprit avoided the drone's attack.
I forgot I hit her head when
Abnormality detected in this sector. Releasing staff room door lock.
The culprit then proceeded to evade security and make their way to the elevator hall.
Evacuation order. Please.
Right after that is when we arrived on the scene. We didn't run into the culprit, though. Which begs the question, how did they escape from the guest floor? I need to try and retrace their escape route.
I need to go back and redo that.
The culprit entered the staff room which was opened when the evacuation alert went out, and left the building via the emergency exit. The culprit then fled the hotel.
I got everything right, but the...
A little while after that, I arrived.
Well, that's me? Not a bad outfit.
I was with Mr. Tozaki, who was back at the hotel and under surveillance when we found the body. That concludes my account based on the findings of my investigation.
I got one thing wrong. I want to redo it. Not all of it. Can I make some real adjustment?
The victim, Irie Clover. She was killed by someone who wanted to steal her clock tower key. I have reason to believe the culprit is still out there, on the run.
There were a few loose ends here and there, but your version of events seems highly probable.
Can I not redo it?
I hereby accept your findings. Very well, Supervisor Sion. All that remains is for you to indict the suspect.
How?
The culprit is...
Can't be him. Can't be drawn.
It's impossible to identify the culprit with the information we found at the crime scene.
You?
Based on the evidence we found at the scene, all the signs seem to point to Ash. But that's purely circumstantial.
Nonetheless, removing confidential files from the Administration Bureau, harboring a fugitive, simply unthinkable conduct for a supervisor.
Eustace.
I hereby permit the use of firearms.
Hey! Defend yourself, not to just open fire on him.
If you find Supervisor Shepard, your orders are to bring him into custody.
That's right, that's good. Not to kill him.
That concludes this private trial.
Boy.
Aren't you gonna go look for Ash?
Lily, let's go to the Bureau. We need to pay Elaine a visit. If I go back in time now, I should be able to stop the culprit. I can use Irie's gun to access the past and stop the culprit from killing her. I found the energy pack. Now's the only chance I'm going to get.
Alright, so how long have I been playing? I'm going to go ahead and end it here. See you on the next one, puppets.